Sophie Cunningham owned Jacy Sheldon from the same game that Marina Mabrey did the massive body slam into Caitlin Clark on. She still owns Jacy. She still owns Jacy Sheldon. And what's great is she's got a great sense of humor about it, and she's not shy about it. I mean, what are they going to do?
Sophie Cunningham just turned the WNBA into her personal Say It With Your Chest showcase, and the punchline landed squarely on Jacy Sheldon, the same G who got a little too handsy with Caitlin Clark. This wasn't some quiet, behind-the-scenes message. Sophie went full broadcast mode. She delivered it on the floor, she delivered it to the fans, and then she etched it in ink. So the real question is simple: how much do you love Sophie? Let us know in the comments. Because from where Fever Nation is sitting, this is exactly the kind of energy the league's brightest star deserves at her side.
This is kind of crazy. This one is kind of crazy. When you get Sophie Cunningham to sign a Jacy Sheldon rookie card with property of... That is crazy. That is crazy. Property of Sophie Cunningham.
Here's the reality most teams pretend doesn't exist. When your teammate is Caitlin Clark, a walking sellout, a ratings cheat code, and a target for every cheap shot artist with a grudge, you either protect her, or you stand around looking decorative while opponents treat her like an open invitation. Sophie Cunningham picked door number 1. And slammed it on people's fingers. This all traces back to that circus of a game, the same one where Marina Mabrey tried out for special teams and truck-sticked Clark after the whistle. But before Mabrey's NFL audition, there was Jacy Sheldon warming up with a let me test the boundaries shot that had Fever fans ready to introduce her to a league-wide penalty box. If only the W had won.
Third quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and Jacy Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down. Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabrey comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
Sheldon, already building a reputation for accidental contact that always seemed to find Caitlin Clark, threw in another unnecessary bump. And Sophie? She didn't file it away in a complaint folder, she added it to her to-do list. Later in the game, Cunningham delivered a clean, firm reminder, the kind you feel in your shoulder blades, that targeting Caitlin comes with interest. It wasn't dirty. It wasn't reckless. It was the basketball version of, we saw that. Don't try it again. And then Sophie did something most players won't. She kept that same energy when the lights weren't game clock bright.
Sophie commits a hard foul on Jacy Sheldon. Again, as Jacy Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm going to give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional.
Fast forward to a Fever fan event. Sophie's in full community mode, signing programs, smiling for photos, chatting with the people who show up 2 hours early and leave hoarse. Then a fan slides over a Jacy Sheldon rookie card and asks for a signature. Not just Sophie, not a heart, not a number, they want a statement, a stamp, something that says exactly what the whole building had been thinking.
She's the problem. She is the problem.
Sophie takes the card, grabs the pen, and writes across the front, property of Sophie Cunningham. That's not a scribble, that's a declaration. That's, you want to press our star? Cool. Here's the bill. It's also a memo to the rest of the league. There's an enforcer in Indiana, and her paperwork is in order. Sheldon, consider yourself officially put on notice.
Sophie Cunningham would take her rightful place as the Indiana Fever enforcer, and I believe took the first step to her becoming the second most popular player in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham is everywhere. Arby's, walking in. She's the best looking woman walking into these WNBA arenas. I mean, Black Belt Barbie, anybody? Black Belt Barbie.
The clip hits social like gasoline. Lexi Hull, sitting next to Sophie at the table, bursts into laughter while the fans lose it. It's one of those rare, perfect moments that blends rivalry, humor, and unfiltered competitiveness. The kind of stuff that actually builds a team's culture and a fan base's identity. It wasn't staged. It wasn't branded. It was pure Sophie, sharp, funny, and crystal clear about who she was writing for. And the best part? She didn't backpedal. No, oh gosh, I was only kidding. No notes app apology. Sophie leaned in. That's what you want from your enforcer, consistency. Because let's be honest, every great team needs one. Gretzky had one. Jordan had several. Kobe had a few who wore the technicals for him. Curry has Draymond. And right now, the WNBA's most watched player has Sophie Cunningham, protector by choice, shooter by trade, and apparently a part-time notary for rival guards.
Sophie Cunningham has been Caitlin Clark's biggest cheerleader and defender.
And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What? When people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as
The sad truth about this video we just watched is she is the first WNBA player I have seen to openly say this out loud, publicly, and not be ashamed and declare.
But here's the twist that makes this more than just a tough guy act. Sophie isn't some end-of-bench body who exists to collect fouls. She's producing big time. Since the break, she's been torching nets, stepping into threes like she owns the arc, and stacking 15, 18, 20-point nights while everyone else is still rubbing their eyes. When the Fever needed buckets against Phoenix, Sophie dropped 18 on command while a few teammates looked like they'd forgotten what city they were in. Enforcer energy is cute. Enforcer energy plus efficiency? That's how you win games people remember.
Caitlin Clark is the reason we have been talking about the WNBA. Hate it or love it, it's true. I don't believe that Caitlin Clark necessarily wants that title that everyone has been giving to her. I think she just wants to be appreciated. And Sophie Cunningham, she just seems like such a real one, such a good friend. I think especially with women, especially elite level athletes, there's a lot of people, women, who will kind of stab you in the back. There's a lot of jealousy, a lot of resentment, especially when you're good. But Sophie just seems like such a girl's girl. I really, really like her. Maybe Caitlin Clark should do the next American Eagle campaign, or Sophie.
So when Sophie wrote property of Sophie Cunningham, it didn't feel petty. It felt proportionate. Fever fans roared because it wasn't just about that one bump or one shove. It was about a season's worth of non-basketball contact finally getting a public return address. It was a teammate saying, "Our star isn't running solo anymore." And saying it with ink, not emojis.
And what do you guys think? Do you guys think this means anything? Like, obviously, when you get a Sophie Cunningham to sign a Jacy Sheldon card, like, I think we should see that more in sport.
This is hilarious. It really is. Indiana Fever star takes humorous jab at Caitlin Clark villain. You gotta love an Iowa Hawkeyes Wire headline. That's really good. That's Jacy Sheldon. Congratulations. That's all you're known as. The chick that was mean to Caitlin Clark. That's your legacy. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, you've been traded, and I don't think you're much of a basketball player. Sheldon, who was selected number 5 overall in the 2024 WNBA draft by the Dallas Wings, following 5 seasons at Ohio State, has quickly established herself a very negative opinion for both Hawkeye and Fever fans after her June 17th flagrant one on Clark and her eventually uncalled for knee to the right groin area during the July 15 clash in Boston as a member of the Connecticut Sun. By the way, can you stay with the team? You got selected by Dallas. You're already on your 3rd squad in 18 months. God,
I just think, and you know way better than me,
Yeah.
but like, it just feels like people are jealous of this new little wave of.
They are, but I just hate that because, like, this is what we've always wanted as a league. So, like, who cares who gets the credit? And if you're smart, you're making money off of them.
Yeah.
Like, you are literally making money from the viewership.
And why bully the person who is, like, not 100% responsible, but, like, has a huge role in growing your sport?
Dude, and it literally, like, pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
It was, to me, payback for what was happening the entire game. But she did it in a way that she wasn't going to injure Jacy. She was just making it known, like, if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it. We'll take care of it, but this is not what you're going to do when you come into our house. It was an intentional foul. It was a hard foul. She brought her down. But with that, you guys, Jacy Sheldon got up and she was ready to go. So as you guys can see in this video, a whole scuffle breaks out. Sophie and Jacy are going after it. Both teams are running over, trying to break it up. It kind of goes into the fan section a little bit.
In the first half, the refs didn't call. Someone should have been thrown out, and the refs did not call it.
Correct. I remember that.
They didn't. And so I was like, all right.
She got full body
Dude,
chested.
by 3 people.
Late, yeah.
Like 2 people, they're like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, if that was anyone else, I would have been booted out of the game. I know that for sure. I'm a little sassy, but like, so are they.
Your leash is shorter though, because they know.
Literally, I don't even have a leash. I just have a freaking collar and a hand on it. Anyway, so there was like 45 seconds left. The girl stole the ball, and I was running back, and I was like, we're up. I don't need a foul. And I was like, just let her go. And I was like, all right, like, who cares? Last second, intrusive thoughts. I was like, fuck it.
She's got all the aura right now. All of it. Got the podcast and a damn good one. I mean, when's the next podcast drop? News is getting slow. There's got to be at least 3 or 4 good things in every Sophie Cunningham podcast.
One of the biggest stars the WNBA's ever
Who's that?
had. Her name rhymes with Schmaitland.
Kirtland?
Yeah. What has that been like? Seeing her not only kind of transform a league, but also just be like,
No,
is that fair to say? Okay.
not even just the league, but like
The
women's
sport,
basketball as a whole around the world. No, I think it's awesome. I think it's so funny because she's like 22, 23 years old, and the whole world is watching her.
God, I wish we had more teammates, or I wish more teammates of Caitlin Clark would get this fired up when their transcendent superstar, who's now hurt, has missed half the games this year, has been the target, that some of the other players would get a little bit aggressive on behalf of Caitlin Clark. Get in between something. You never, this is in the NBA. Every team in hockey, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, I mean, these transcendent stars, it's always the goon, the enforcer. In this case, Sophie Cunningham, I mean, normally these guys, they're not really putting up numbers. The difference here is Sophie Cunningham is a real basketball player and a hell of a good one.
You got tossed.
And it's 2-on-1. Yeah, I got tossed.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we're good. But so in a situation like that, does Caitlin come up to you after and say like, because the internet whole thing was, look at fucking Sophie sticking up for Caitlin, like this is dope.
But I was.
No, I know you were.
But in the locker room, I think she was like, finally, you know, like finally someone else. I was like, dude, I got you. Like but I think that kind of had our team come together as a whole. And it's like, no, we gotta have like, it was
That's awesome.
yeah, no, it really was though. Like, I feel like everyone was like, you know, like we do have to protect each other.